guys, what's up? This is StarCatcher125. Thank you for clicking on this video link. Hopefully you'll also click on like, favorite, subscribe, and the bell icon to get notified of when I post a video or when I go live with a live stream. Welcome to a little bit different of a video that I compared to what I normally do. This is going to be a comparison video and basic overall usage of the Pokemon Go Plus versus the Pokemon Go Gacha versus Pokemon Go on the Apple Watch. Huge disclaimer. The Pokemon Go Gacha is a third-party accessory and technically goes against Niantic's ruling. If you have any questions about the rules and regulations, you can always go to the website. But technically it's a third-party device, and I don't know if anybody's gotten banned from it. I believe there's a small number of people that have got their accounts at least flagged, and they had a soft ban, which you get 3 soft bans before they delete your account. I don't want my account to get harmed in any way because of me testing this product. So Niantic, if you're watching this video, which honestly I doubt that you guys are, but if you are, comment down below. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you care or something, because it would be really cool to have you guys be like, hey, that's some awesome research. Great job. Or something along those lines. Anyway, first we're going to start with the Pokemon Go Plus by Niantic and the Pokemon Company. The Pokemon Go Plus is a really nice product in some ways, compared to others, compared to the other 2 products that we have here. It comes with 2 backings. One back, you can put this little strap on it, which is how I have always used mine, because the other backing that you have to it is a little clip that you can like clip it to a shirt or a backpack or something else, your pants pocket, whatever it might be, belt loop. I tried using that and I just felt super insecure. I didn't want to drop it, so I put it on the wristband. It has a really nice construction. It's definitely odd, like a slightly oddly shaped, and even if you guys look at the icon in Pokemon Go, it has changed to the Pokeball Go Plus, or the Pokeball Plus, that accessory that came out with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The reason that I didn't use that is because from what I know, it has the same exact software that the Pokemon Go Plus runs, so I considered it to essentially be the same thing, but this was going to be easier to carry around. So it has the availability of spinning Pokestops and catching Pokemon, which you can turn on or off within the actual game itself by going into your settings all the way to the bottom, then Pokemon Go Plus, and you can turn on spin Pokestops, and you can turn off or on catch Pokemon. Things that I really like about it. Let's go over some pros and cons of this device. Some pros. Again, the construction is really nice. The LED indicator depicting if it's a Pokemon or a Pokestop that you're about to attempt to spin or catch is very color accurate, I guess, if that's even something to be a pro on. Especially at night, it's super easy to see, and actually is, I would say, even a little bit brighter than I would expect this small device to actually put out. Next, the vibration feature. The vibrations are very strong, so just as long as you have a full battery, which we're going to get to that, the vibrations are very good. The short time that I used it on a clip, even if it was on my pants, which was about 2 layers of like thick jeans, I could still feel it really well. Over time, I will say, with both this and the Go Gacha, the vibrations, I just kind of became somewhat numb to them, but that's not a downfall of the product itself. That's just kind of what happens. And that's about it for the pros. Good LED light. Oh, I guess the distance from my research, which we'll get into after I go over the pros and cons, the distance was actually pretty accurate. And I did get a little bit more distance, if I remember right here. I did get a little bit more distance than I did just running the game by itself. So that was a plus. Let's go over some cons. This device does not recharge. That's right. These take little watch batteries. And unless you're able to go to your local Dollar Tree like I have been able to do. They have watch batteries. There's some like cheapo Sunbeam watch batteries, and they're $1, and you get 2 of them. And I would get about, I would say, 3 weeks to a month of usage, and that's probably using it for maybe like 2 hours a day for maybe like 3 or 4 hours, because honestly, I didn't actually use this device very much after I found out about other products that were out there. But this device does not recharge. So if you're having to buy those watch batteries, or you don't have a cheap way of actually buying them, you don't want to buy them online, you want to go buy them from the store, you're going to be buying those watch batteries. Usually one battery is going to be like $3 or $4, or at least that's what I saw around here, my local Walmart and my Fred Meyer's. Whenever I went to either of those stores to look for these types of watch batteries, they're like a little 3-volt watch battery, because I've used them in lots of electronics. This, my little, let's see if I can get it, I'm shaking the camera, sorry. My little pocket Pikachu from ages ago that is collecting mass amounts of dust. All these devices that require those batteries are expensive. And that adds up. And in this day and age, I really thought they would have at least put some extra batteries in the box, or made it rechargeable. There is an accessory that you can get for this device that is a third-party accessory. So in this case, I would say it shouldn't get you banned, because there's not really any way that Niantic's going to be able to tell, or the Pokemon Company is going to be able to tell that you're using it. But essentially, it's an extra bit that goes onto the back, but it's like $35 last time I checked, which is like the price of this device itself. And it allows you to recharge with a micro USB cable, and that's really awesome. So if you want to, you know, stay whole heart to the game, and you don't want any chance that your account is going to get suspended or deleted or anything, then you can always buy this device. And if you want the rechargeability, you can spend an extra $35 or so and buy the extra bit that sticks onto the back, that screws onto the back, and adds rechargeability. Another con that I would say about this device is that I might as well just be playing Pokemon Go on my phone, because this device and one of the other devices, whenever you have to spin a Pokestop, and whenever you have to catch a Pokemon, you have to press this button. And there are different vibration patterns for Pokemon, Pokestop, if you are out of range of the Pokemon, if you don't have Pokeballs, or you're out of range of the Pokestop, or you've already spun the Pokestop, or you don't have any more items. And there's also even an LED indicator, but that means that you have to be looking down at the device to look at the LED indicator, especially if you haven't memorized the vibration patterns. Like me, in my case, is that I just kind of got used to the vibrations, so I wasn't really thinking about it. And usually when I'm using this device, I'm walking. I'm walking in a crowded area. It came down to I'm sitting there and it's on my wrist, and I'm just kind of like constantly looking at it every once in a while, just peeking over at it. And in that case, I might as well just be playing the game. I'm not trying to completely like badger this product, because honestly, it is a really awesome product, and when it came out, it helped a lot of people would have rather not been able to play the game. There's people that I know that wanted to play the game more often, get Pokestops, get items, catch Pokemon, get Stardust, things like that. But, you know, they're at work and stuff like that, and so they can't be on their phone the whole time. So this was an easy way for them to just, they could just reach into their pocket and they could press it. Another, and one caveat to that is a lot of people will just get like a big safety clip pin, and they will clip it down, and you can literally just have it to where it is pressing and holding down on the button. And any time that you come near a Pokestop or a Pokemon, it's still reading that you're pressing the button, or that you have pressed the button, and so it's auto spinning and auto catching because you have the pressure on there. So that is one thing that a lot of people have done. And there's even some third-party accessories that sit on top of this that actually clamp down on the button. And I've even seen some people open this device up, which in this case, again, disclaimer, I don't recommend doing this, because it avoids warranties, and I believe that it's tampering with the actual product on the internals, and I believe that is against their rules and regulations. You're not supposed to do that. But you can, if you want, you could open it up, and there's people that have soldered the vibration motor to the actual button itself. Somebody put a tiny wire and soldered each point, and that made it to where it auto spun and auto caught. So that was all fine and dandy, but you still don't have the rechargeability. And for me, that was a major downfall of this device. The rechargeability. I wish they would have had the ability to recharge this device. Next product, the Pokemon Go Gacha. This, again, this is a third-party accessory and can technically lead to soft bans, shadow bans, and also just the deletion of your account. Permanent bans, things like that. Let's go over some pros of this device. First thing, super small design. This is actually this is the product itself. This right here, that is the only thing, and there it is, it's turning on. You have a small, like, touchscreen button. It's just like phones nowadays, kind of. I don't think it is waterproof or water resistant technically, but it's going to have more water resistance than the Pokemon Go Plus because it doesn't have a physical button. Next thing you'll notice is down on the bottom, these two little contacts. This has rechargeability, this tiny little horse pill sized device. These are actually hacked Xiaomi like Mi Mix like Fitbits, and these will auto spin, these will auto catch, these will apparently auto connect, but I never got that feature to actually work unless I was looking at my game and I saw it disconnect and I immediately hit the button up top for your Pokeball for the Pokemon Go Plus, and then it would auto connect then, but only a couple of seconds after disconnecting. And this also has the availability of turn the vibration on or off, and same with auto catching and auto spinning. If you don't want to use the auto function, you can always turn that off and you press or put your finger or anything really, a palm, anything, where the little red button is, the little red circle, and it will attempt to catch or spin the Pokestop. A plus of this is that it actually has a miniature display, as you can see. And this device, when you spin a Pokestop, it'll show for some reason it shows the logo, the Go Gacha logo, but then it'll also vibrate the same amount of times of how many items you got. You got 7 items, it'll vibrate 7 times. That might be a function of the Go Plus. I wasn't counting because I was always trying to like make sure I was pressing the button. But then also, I believe it'll show the amount of items on the screen of how many items you actually got. With catching Pokemon, it will show you how many attempts it took to catch the Pokemon, whether it be 1 Pokeball, 2 Pokeball, and 3 Pokeballs. Those are the only numbers I've seen. I haven't technically gone in to see exactly if it used 1 or 2 or 3 Pokeballs by going into my inventory. Usually, because this thing was way too fast. It was just fast. It's super fast at catching Pokemon and spinning Pokestops. So with me saying that it has rechargeability, you might be thinking, well, that thing is really tiny. How much battery life could this actually have? I think the box said that it has like around 12 to 18 hours of battery life, but I think it's a lot more than that. This device charges in, I would say, probably about an hour and a half, but if I turned off the vibration function on this, I could actually get this to work for about 5 days, and that's playing for about 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours a night, because I would actually be wearing this at work, and it would be auto spinning and auto catching all night. The only downfall was that, well, let's keep going with the pros. So, auto spinning, auto catching, rechargeability, long battery life, with the caveat of you have to turn the vibrate function off. If you turn the vibrate function on and you leave it on, I would get anywhere from like 2.5 days to 3 days, sometimes 2 days. But now with the vibrate function off, I can get about 5 days, about 25 hours in total of battery life out of this thing. It's comfortable to wear, it's super lightweight, and then also the other cool thing is that since this is an actual product, like a different product, you can get other bands for this as well. So if this color doesn't meet your standards or whatever, if you want something a little bit more plain, you can get a plain black one, gray one, red one, green one, blue one, yellow one, whatever color you want, because you can buy it for the Xiaomi Mi Mix like Fitbit little thing. And usually when you search these on Amazon, it'll actually show you a ton of bands that you can buy for them. The downfalls of it. Obviously, with the vibrate function, it doesn't last as long, but to me, that's not really a downfall. And then the only other downfall that I really found is that when I'm using this device by itself, if I'm hatching an egg, because obviously this is gonna help track your distance in game, when I had an egg hatching, it would disconnect. And I don't know if it's something that Niantic has to do on their side to make it to where the game reads, okay, well, their phone is turned off or their phone is locked. They're playing with a Pokemon Go Plus. And I'm assuming this also happens with the Go Plus. I never really actually saw it happen though. With that device, every once in a while it would disconnect and I wouldn't know about it. there was no notification from Pokemon Go saying that, hey, your Pokemon Go session ended. You do always get the notification. I have made my notifications pop up quietly, but it's the same notification you get for when you catch a Pokemon or you spin a Pokestop or the Pokemon ran away, whatever it might be, any notification you get on your phone. So that kind of sucked. I would end up checking my phone every hour to hour and a half to make sure that it didn't disconnect, and I would really have to pay attention in my mind, well, how far do I think I've walked at since I started playing, so that I can keep track of my egg distance. That was a little bit of a con for me. Another huge con is that the main reason is that it's a third-party accessory. I really wish that this company would have just been like, hey, Niantic, let's partner up and make your Go Plus even better, because I think this is what the Go Plus should have been, and I think this is what the Go Plus should be, and that's really it. I know it's really heavy on the Pro side on that device for me. So let's go ahead and move on to the next product. This is a Apple Watch Series 3. This is the Wi-Fi and cellular version. I got this refurbished on Amazon for about $280. You can get the Series 1s refurbished for around $180 I saw. So they're pretty good prices, but I don't think the price is worth it unless you have one of the other devices already. Reason being are some of the pros and cons. Pros of this device. It's really nice being able to see, just look at your watch and see exactly how much distance you have walked so far since you started Pokemon Go on the Apple Watch. Second, it'll show you all the Pokemon that are nearby, and you can even scroll through a decently large list. I think I saw the maximum of about 9 Pokemon on my nearby. So despite the fact that it does not have an auto catch or an auto spin feature, which are both cons for me, this doesn't have any catch feature that I could get it to work. If this does have a catch feature, let me know down in the comments, and maybe I can try to get it to set up again. But I've had this device for a little over a month now, and I've been using it literally every night that I go to work. I've been using this device with another device to be able to catch and spin, and then this helps me track my distance. Because another pro of it is that this will also show you the distance of your buddy Pokemon that you have with you, with a little icon of what Pokemon you have as your buddy. Another thing this will do is it will show you all of the eggs that you have incubated, up to 9 obviously, and it'll show you the actual distance of those eggs, which is really cool. Another pro for this device is that if you do have the notification turned on for Pokestops, this will actually bring up a small photo disc, just like it would in-game, of the Pokestop, which sometimes it takes a little bit longer for it to actually pop up. The Series 3 is pretty fast about it, but I have seen, my girlfriend has a Series 1, and hers might be a little slower because it has a smaller processor, or a slower processor. But that was pretty cool. It's a neat little thing, and you can spin it just like you would in Pokemon Go. It'll show you your items, show you how much experience you get, but then it automatically pops up, but it doesn't automatically go away, which is a part of a con for me on this one. You actually have to press close up on the top right hand corner of the device for it to close out of the Pokestop. A pro of this device: it's rechargeable and it's wireless technically. You set it down on a pad and it charges. Let's go over some cons, because that's pretty much all the pros that I can really give for it. Some cons: the battery life lasts about a night for me. I do have it running for about the 4, 5, 6 hour period that I have it running in the background while I'm at work, getting that oh so reliable Stardust, and it gets pretty low. Usually I get to about the 5th hour, and most of the time it's telling me, hey, I got about 10% battery life. You should turn me on to low power mode so I don't die, so you can use me more. Which I never really do. I usually just turn off the app for this. Another con of this device: it keeps track of your egg distance, but if your egg hatches, you will not know that your egg is hatched. And when you go into your game, you will not know that your egg is hatched until you've actually gone into your egg section on here, or you've gone into your egg section on the game, because it doesn't play the animation. And I don't know why. I have hatched numerous eggs with this device. Oh, another huge pro for this device: this is probably the most accurate way to track your distance, and we're going to get into that after I've done this pro and con session. I think that's pretty much it. Slightly small battery life, has wireless charging, has rechargeability, has a nice screen to where you can check all of the Pokemon, eggs, buddy distance. You can spin Pokestops. You can't catch Pokemon. It doesn't auto-spin Pokestops. But then what if you use this device with more than one device? What I've been doing is I've actually been using these two devices in tandem. I've been using the Pokemon Go app for the Apple Watch to track my distance. I would say probably in the most accurate way possible compared to just the iPhone tracking its own distance. And then I've had the Go Gotcha auto spinning and auto catching for me, which is really nice because now with that feature, because this automatically makes the eggs hatch, it doesn't catch this up and basically doesn't make this disconnect as often. I used to have this disconnect on me probably like 4 or 5, 6 times a night, so pretty frequently. But now that I have this, this probably disconnects maybe once or twice a night, and it's usually because I'm pretty sure it's because there's a section of where I work where I have to go into some like caved areas, and there's no service. And when there's no service, the Pokemon Go Plus goes, "Hey, there's no service. You can't play the game, so I'm gonna disconnect because I'm gonna save battery life." I'm assuming that's what it is. There's my pros and cons of those 3 devices. The next thing I want to do is I want to show you some research that I did. I went to the historic Bayfront in Newport, Oregon, and I walked from this location all the way over to the Maritime Heritage Center, which is pretty much a kilometer. A kilometer is about 0.68 miles, and that's what I was going for. And Google Maps was telling me that's 0.6 miles. I could have probably gotten it a little bit more accurate, but from my testings, it seemed like it was pretty accurate. It was pretty much a full kilometer. And basically what I did is I started off by taking a screenshot of my distance, of my current distance, before I did any walking. I went all the way to one side, and then I turned on my game. I had nothing connected. My Apple Watch was connected, but the app wasn't running on the Apple Watch. The next thing I did is I walked all the way from one side to the other with Pokemon Go running in the background. It was the only only app that was running on the phone with my phone locked and in my pocket. I walked all the way to the other side of the Bayfront, and I went from 34.8 kilometers walked this week to 35.3 kilometers walked. Ouch. That is 0.5 kilometers that it tracked out of a full kilometer. So I only got about half the distance that I had actually walked. That was not good. I wasn't, that's a lot of effort, and I only got half the reward for the effort that I had just put out. The next thing I did is I turned on Pokemon Go for the Apple Watch, and I know I did this kind of out of order compared to how I just gave pros and cons to you guys about these devices. I turned on the Pokemon Go for Apple Watch, and I walked all the way back from the opposite end all the way to the last end I was at, the original end. I went from the west to the east, and now I'm going from east going to the west. So this time, when I got all the way over, and I did have the Pokestop functionality turned on, and for some weird reason, I don't know why, because this has never happened since I've had it, it wouldn't actually show that there were any Pokestops nearby on the Apple Watch. It wasn't popping them up because I had the game running in the background, phone locked in my pocket, because I was fully prepared to spin the Pokestops on the way, hoping that maybe that would help track the distance a little bit. Luckily, I went from the previous 35.3 kilometers to 36.4 kilometers. I'm looking down because I have it on my phone. I'm looking at it, but you guys, it's going to be up on the screen. So I went up all the way by 1.1 kilometers. So a little bit more than what I had set up. I had set up a kilometer, and I got an extra 0.1 kilometers. And that might be because it's a 0.05 that's in there somewhere. It might not be exactly a kilometer. So that was awesome. That whole kilometer, I walked a kilometer, I got a kilometer. I was happy. at least a kilometer. I was happy. Next thing I did is I went ahead and I turned off the Pokemon Go for the Apple Watch. So next what I did is I connected the Pokemon Go Gotcha. This device, obviously, can auto spin and auto catch. And I'm not going to really add in the numbers of Pokemon that I actually caught, because both of the Pokemon Go Plus and the Pokemon Go Gotcha have about a 50% catch rate from what I've noticed over the last month, like 6 or 7 months that I've used the devices. So really, they're the same. And using this, since I'm going in the same area, I'm not going to catch the same amount of Pokemon, because I'm not going to encounter the same amount of Pokemon every time, because the first time that I go through catching Pokemon, there's obviously going to be more. By the time I go back through that same area, there's not going to be as many Pokemon, because there hasn't been a substantially long period of time, like example, like over a week since I've been to the Bayfront, where Pokemon could have spawned. So I won't add that into the numbers. This is just for distance. So this time I walked all the way back from the west end all the way back to the east end. And again, with the Pokemon Go Gotcha on my wrist, auto catching, auto spinning, doing its job diligently. With the game running in the background, phone locked into my pocket, I went from 36.4 to 37.5. So I got the same amount of distance that the Apple Watch got. And that immediately shows that if you're in it for the distance, and you also want to catch Pokemon and Pokestops, and you don't have a Apple device, because with the Apple Watch, it has to be connected to an iPhone, then the Pokemon Go Gotcha has to be the best thing, because it auto spins, it auto catches, it recharges, and it gets the same amount of distance as a almost $300 peripheral. Then I disconnected the Pokemon Go Gotcha, and I then connected, which here's another con for the Pokemon Go Plus, is that I had to go into my phone settings, Bluetooth, and I had to actually get rid of the Pokemon Go Plus from my Bluetooth settings, and then I had to press and hold on the center button of the Go Plus until the blue light turned on, which is about 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and then let go for a brief moment, press down and hold for another 5 to 6 seconds so that the device itself could clear its memory. That is something that the Go Gotcha does not have to do, which I ended up having to do later because I did further testing after this. So after I finally remembered, oh yeah, you have to clear the memory or whatever it is on the actual Pokemon Go Plus, I walked all the way from the east end all the way back to the west end, and I went from 37.5 kilometers to 38.6. I got another 1.1 kilometers. I got the same amount of distance. That's a good thing. That's good. That is a good thing. And that's a good thing because that means that you can get all of that same distance as either of the other two devices that I'm reviewing here, but you're staying full heart to the actual game where you don't have any chance of getting banned like you can with the Go Gotcha. So that's pretty good. Then I decided I haven't actually tested the distance if you use the Apple Watch with the Go Plus or the Apple Watch with the Go Gotcha. So next I went ahead and I booted up Pokemon Go on the west end. I booted up Pokemon Go on the Apple Watch, and I had the Pokemon Go Plus already connected to my iPhone. So I decided, you know what, I don't want to go through having to do all that reconnect stuff and take 3 or 4 minutes of my time to do that. I'm just gonna keep it connected. So I walked all the way from the west end yet again to the east end while catching and spinning as many Pokestops and Pokemon as I can. I went from 38.6 kilometers to 40 kilometers even. So that means I went up by 1.4. Huh. I got 0.3 more kilometers than I would have otherwise. Yeah, 0.3 more kilometers than I would have otherwise, because before we were getting 1.1. I noticed a problem though while I was walking back, and I'm sitting there focusing on trying to not trip over my own feet and bump into people that are also walking around on the sidewalk, because it's a busy area. I noticed that compared to the Go Gotcha, this device is also slightly slow. It'll buzz and flash at you when there's a Pokemon or a Pokestop nearby, and then immediately, even if you press the button right away or you're holding it, it kind of pauses for a second. And I noticed that it made it to where I wasn't spinning every single Pokestop, and I wasn't able to catch as many Pokemon or as fast as I could have with the Go Gotcha. So I did notice that, and I'm pretty sure that they could just change that in some type of config file with future releases of the Pokemon Go Plus, where it makes it to where the computing just goes a little bit faster. There's not as much hesitation. Next, I disconnected the Pokemon Go Plus and I connected the Pokemon Go Gotcha with Pokemon Go on the Apple Watch running at the same time. And for some reason, I only got 0.9 kilometers. I don't know why, but I only got 0.9. I went from 40 kilometers to 40.9. I'm not really sure why I got so little distance on that one, but it happened. I usually get pretty good distance, and I'm usually hatching eggs, I would say even a lot faster than usual, using the combination of the Apple Watch and the Pokemon Go Gotcha. And honestly, having auto spin, auto catch, and rechargeability is a really awesome thing. So, basically, this boils down to what's the best device to use. If you want to stay whole heart to the actual game itself, and you only have an Android device, the only option you have is the Pokemon Go Plus from Niantic and Pokemon. If you're willing to risk it a little bit, then you also have the option of getting this device and many others. I'm not going to go over the other ones because there are a few other devices that add like a external battery that has this device built into it and stuff. And those are the same thing. And there's also an egg one that does the same thing, auto spins, auto catches, and that's just a weird shape to me. But there is always this, and it's the same price. You get auto spinning, auto catching, able to turn off the vibration, and you get rechargeability. And if you turn off the vibration feature, you can get about 20 to 25 hours of playability time with this device. If you do have an Apple product, a iPhone if you will, then you can, if you have the money to kind of throw away a little bit, and you want an Apple Watch, then you always have the incentive of using Pokemon Go for the Apple Watch in tandem with either the genuine way, because the Pokemon Go for the Apple Watch is completely genuine, and then you have your Pokemon Go Plus, which is completely genuine. Or again, you can risk it a little bit and you can get the Pokemon Go Gotcha from Datel. That's the company that makes this product. So it's completely up to you guys. Like I said, I use the Apple Watch and the Pokemon Go Gotcha. And I'm hoping that releasing this video does not, and having Niantic see it, doesn't make Niantic try to find my account and ban my account for using these products, because I'm just trying to play the game. That is basically my complete review of the Pokemon Go Plus, the Pokemon Go Gotcha, and Pokemon Go on Apple Watch. If you guys have any further questions about any of these products, I can try to answer them to the best of my ability. All you have to do is post them down in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about this video by giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know. Also, if you did like the video, consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you get notifications on when I post a video or if I go live with a live stream, because sometimes I do that. If you like more videos like this and you might want some that are shorter, also let me know down in the comments. I would actually like to play more Pokemon Go, maybe do some events, and I have an idea for maybe doing park reviews. Let me know again down in the comments. Thank you all so much for sticking around for this long video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see all of you next time.